Live from FedEx Forum, this is The Odds Couple on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app. Here's Rob Fisher and Lang Whitaker.
Hello, good people. Welcome to The Odds Couple. It's a Monday. It's a smaller show. Some say more intimate. Some say more thoughtful. Some say more romantic. But whatever you want to say, we're here. It's The Odds Couple. It's a Monday, and we're going to get you ready for the big NCAA tournament coming up this weekend. Rob Fisher is joining us live from Sacramento, I believe.
That is correct. That is correct. I'm in Sacramento. Hello from Sacramento. It is St. Patrick's Day here in Sacramento.
Yep.
As well as
I think it's St. Patrick. I think it's St. Patrick's Day everywhere.
I believe that's correct. So happy St. Patrick's Day. My anniversary today as well. So happy anniversary to me and my wife Dipti. Yes.
Roser's here.
She didn't want to go to Sacramento.
She didn't. She didn't feel the need.
No, she didn't want to. She's like, we'll wait till you get back. It's cool.
Yeah, pretty much.
So John Roser joins us, and I'm back. Hadn't been here for a couple of weeks.
My camera?
Yeah, that's yours.
Okay. I've always tried to figure that out. I've never understood that.
I don't either. There's just all these cameras in this room.
I want to talk brackets.
We'll get to the brackets.
Okay.
We're going to get to the brackets.
I can't be as loud. I
It's
want to
more
talk.
thoughtful.
Back to the camera. Come on. Right here. Come on,
Go for
Kyra.
it,
There we
Kyra.
go. There we go. I want to talk brackets.
This is like that game. So I missed the last couple of weeks. I was actually in the hospital for like a week. But on one of those shows, I was watching the Grizzlies games. I was watching on my laptop from the hospital. And it was the game where Brevin's voice was all messed up. Do you remember that game? Yeah. And he sounded like a prepubescent Quiet Storm DJ. And I was trying to stay off social media, but I was thinking like I should tweet that. That'd be a good tweet. But Brevin had the Grizzlies are trying to do the thing. So it would have been fitting for this show because it's more thoughtful and more. I did have to I did tweet you guys and was telling you you guys were awesome and like keeping in touch with me. And at one point I said I think I'm going to have to do the thing where they shock you. And Fish said he said I want to come. I want to see it.
I wanted to watch.
Yeah. Surprisingly, that's not allowed at the hospital. So yeah, nobody saw it, but it happened. And I'm here, and we're back at it. Are you wearing green, Roser?
No, I'm not wearing green.
Fish isn't either.
No, I'll have green on tonight for the game though.
Okay. All right.
So I'll have on green on TV, but no, just Grizz gear today. No green on me.
No green.
I couldn't pack extra crap for this trip. This is a 12-day trip.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like I could be like, oh, we'll pack green for this day. No, it's just sweats, underwear, T-shirts. That's it. That's all I'm wearing for 12 days.
You could have gotten rid of the underwear and packed something green.
Yeah, well, let me tell you something. I wasn't sure I had 12 pair of underwear. That was a problem going in.
Do you so on a 12-day?
I definitely don't think I have 12 pair of underwear. I'm pretty sure.
Do you pack 12 pairs of underwear, or do you do laundry somewhere along the way?
No laundry. I packed 12 pair. Yeah.
And you could always just go and buy some.
Yeah.
They make disposable underwear.
Yeah.
Most underwear is kind of.
Yeah, I guess it is. You could just, you can't
pretty.
just take it and throw it away.
Yeah.
You buy some tidy whiteys.
Yeah. You know,
6-pack of Fruit of the Loom.
Roser's been working too long today.
I have been up since like 5:45, 6.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we're good. Let's go.
Let's talk about the
I want to
weekend.
talk about the brackets.
Let's talk about the weekend first. We got brackets to talk about. We got the weekend to talk about. We got some fish nuggets. We got what's it called? The Who Said It, which has been sweeping the nation. Swept the nation. There's the voice. We have Who Said It coming later, and that's sort of like the horn sound on the mixtapes. You know, like when the DJ gives the shout out or the mustard drop or whatever. Like that's our drop. The Who Said It.
I was actually hoping you weren't going to have a Who Said It, so I could say, why didn't you do a Who Said It? What was wrong? What, were you in the hospital or something?
Yeah, it was, brah. Anyway, we got Who Said. There's actually some great ones today. CJ's not here. We actually have a bonus Jameis Winston clip again.
Yeah.
So that CJ can rest easy. He missed that. We're not doing a show on Thursday.
Yeah.
I found out. So if we're going to talk tournament, we're going to talk it today. Lines might change between now and then, but we'll go over them. But first, let's start with the weekend. Did you guys watch conference championship games or conference finals over the weekend? Fish, how about you?
Yeah, I watched some of them. I listened to the Tennessee-Florida game.
Yeah.
I was in the car a lot for that one. And then I watched Memphis and UAB while I was on the plane. So I was able to watch that one. Yeah, so I watched a little bit. It always sucks when you get to the Memphis AAC game because you're kind of like, I don't even know if it matters anymore.
Yeah.
Because the brackets are pretty much filled out the way that they are. But I watched that, and it's not good that the Tigers have a couple of bad injuries that are hurting them heading into the NCAA tournament, and it's probably why they're an underdog as a 5 seed in this first round game against Colorado State. But you knew it was going to. I felt, I believed it was going to be a very tight, close game against UAB. It was.
Yeah.
Tigers able to get the win. Struggled from the free throw line with their bigs, but able to get the win, and it was good Tiger win and good Florida win. Florida, I think, proving that they're the best team possibly in the country. And I think Auburn losing 3 of their last 4 games, you have to look at Florida and wonder if they're the best team in the country right now, the way that they took care of Tennessee on Sunday.
Yeah, Auburn lost 3 or 4, but they're all to great teams.
Yeah.
It's a little hard to say we should be worried about them losing 3 out of 4. My takeaway from watching that Memphis UAB game yesterday was Dane Danger has gotten so good the last couple weeks, months, as the season's gone along. He had a play yesterday where he got the rebound, put it on the floor, drove the length of the court, got the and one, and hit a layup in transition. And I was like, good Lord, that's like an NBA move. I think his maturation combined with Haggerty, and I guess we'll see Tyrese Hunter, but I think if he can play like that, Cisse's fine. I like Nick Jordan, but if those guys all can play like that, that's a pretty good team. I don't know how the bench will be, but I feel like Memphis, you could just see watching them how much better they are now than they were a month or 2 ago.
The thing about Memphis that's interesting is they play all of these games very closely.
Yeah.
So you wonder what's going to happen when they step up in competition. Is it a matter of just playing at the level of your competition? Or are they going to play in close games against these better teams? And I think what's good is if they can be in close games for, 3/4 of the game, maybe even a little bit more than that, they've shown the ability in the closing minutes to put teams away.
Yeah.
Can they stay close? Can they be in a tight game? And can they put teams away at the end when it matters? They got the guys that can do it. Danger's been doing it. PJ Haggerty certainly has been doing it all season long. With those 2 guys being closers the way that they've been, if you're in a tight game, I think you have to feel pretty good about their chances just because of the way they have been able to close games.
Yeah, but the thing that scares me is, how healthy is Hunter? We don't know what his health is. I mean, they looked okay without him yesterday, but I mean, he's been one of their clutch players all season long. For the SEC, I was watching some of those Auburn games, and my big takeaway with Auburn is Chad Baker-Mazara is one of their better players. He's also the least reliable guy on the court. I would not want to have to bank on him as being one of my better players because you never know if he's going to draw a foul or try to flop or draw a flagrant 2 or we got thrown out against Yale last year. So that guy terrifies me. And I think if you're Auburn, I know I didn't even use it on Who Said It, the clip of Bruce Pearl talking about my guards aren't. He used a curse word. He was saying that he feels very confident in his team. I don't know how confident I feel in Auburn after watching them be so reliant on a wild card, basically. And look, Janai Broom's awesome, and Pettiford and those guards are good too. But I think that's kind of your key swing guy, and I don't know if I rely on him as much as you want to.
Yeah, the thing is with me, and again, them losing 3 of the 4 games, and I know they were against really good opponents, but I just a week ago, maybe 2 weeks, let's a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, I believed that Auburn was the best team in the country, and I didn't believe anybody else was threatening them as far as the best team in the country. But today, I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what these last 2 weeks have done for me for Auburn, but I still think they're great. But, you kind of limp into the NCAA tournament, not playing your best basketball, getting some losses. How big of a detriment is that going to be for them heading into the NCAA tournament? I don't know. But and I think what you're saying too, to have a wild card as your guy,
yeah,
that can be a little concerning.
I've been big on Alabama all year, and I know they Grant Nelson got hurt in the tournament. I don't know if he's ready to go. I would assume in the NCAA, but I've liked Alabama all year, and I feel like they've got like scoring and balance and different depth. They've got everything, and they got some experience too. But like you said, Florida looked like probably the best team in the SEC in that tournament. They just ran through it, and their point guard scares me a little bit. I can't remember his name, but he made some shots. You're like, okay, why would you take that? But for the most part, Condon's awesome, and they've got depth and everything else. Tennessee looked really good too. So I think 14 of the 16 SEC teams end up making the tournament. I mean, I feel pretty good. Maybe can you take the SEC over the field in the tournament? Would you do that?
Yes.
Roser?
I mean, I think I would, because you're talking about 2 number 1 seeds and 2 number 2 seeds.
Yeah. Actually, I filled out a bracket last night, and I ended up with Alabama and Auburn in the final game.
It's not crazy.
Yeah,
I mean, it's possible.
As funny as it sounds, it's not crazy. What would you take an SEC team versus the field, Roser? You've been high on Houston. Are you still?
Oh, I am. I'm the opposite of Fish. I am not worried. I think Auburn's going to beat the crap out of everybody. Yeah. I do. I think they'll probably play one or two close games, but I think they're going to have. I think Auburn. And it showed. Gary Parrish talked about this. He said going into the final, he's like, they can lose their last 4 games, and they're still going to be the number 1 overall seed. Like, their resume is set. And sure enough, they lost 3 of their last 4, and they were still the number 1 overall seed. I think Auburn is going to be ready for this tournament. I think Auburn's going to win the national championship. So, yeah, I would take the SEC. Because also, instead of just Auburn, you're giving me the SEC. I'm also getting Florida and Alabama. And I still don't trust Tennessee's offense to be able to win a national championship, but I get Tennessee with it also.
Yeah, I like Ziegler. He looked good this weekend. We could also talk about the Grizzlies had the big weekend at home. Grizzlies ended up losing Friday night to the Cavs, but then getting the big win over the Heat on Saturday night on Tony Allen night. Yeah. And Roser and I talked about it during the game Saturday night about Tony, and we were on the warm-up show together, and we talked about Tony and how we've both known him for a long time and how surreal it is to have Tony Allen working in the office with us now. It's like an ESPN commercial or something. Like, we come to work and Tony Allen's sitting on your couch making a phone call or whatever, and you run into him in the bathroom or in the kitchen break room, all that kind of stuff. It made me think about you, Fish, because you're asking him the question where the grit grind quote comes from, the famous post-game interview. What was Saturday night like for you honoring Tony Allen?
It was really cool. It was, it's amazing that Zach Randolph and Mike and Mark and Tony, us broadcasters, we were there for that whole ride. Yeah. And we were pretty young when that started, and not as young as those guys were at the time, but still pretty young, closer to their ages. That a lot of us grew up together, and Mike had kids, and Mark got married, and Zebo had a kid, and I got married and had a kid, had 2 kids. I mean, we all kind of grew up together, so. It was a different sort of relationship with those guys, and so just very excited for him, very, very proud of him, happy for him. It was great to see all the guys. It was a cool night, man. It was great, and so well deserved for Tony, and to hear the stories, and to share some stories. It was a lot of fun because we lived through their entire time with the Memphis Grizzlies, and to enjoy it with them and to enjoy that moment with them on Saturday night was really special for sure.
Two thoughts I had. You talked about how like everybody grew up together, and I was thinking, well, Pete and Brevin, they kind of look ageless. They both have had kind of the same look this whole time. But then the other thought I had was that one of the things I enjoyed was that was one of the simulcast games that was on NBC statewide, including the post game ceremony. And I just like the thought of somebody in East Tennessee trying to go to sleep and watch the news and turning on and find Tony Allen just dropping F-bombs left and right.
Yeah.
We knew that might be a problem.
Yeah. They gave me a talk.
Once 10 o'clock hit, we were a little nervous on how
give Tony Allen a live microphone and let him loosen up a little bit, and all bets are off.
They actually gave me a talk because the warm-up show is also simulcast as part of the NBC thing. I had to listen to a little conversation about FCC rules to not run afoul of that kind of stuff since now we're over the air. So I don't think Tony got that talk properly.
He didn't get the talk? No, probably not.
Let's talk about some big beats. Fish, you got some big beats to go to?
I do. And we'll start with the Dukies on our big beats this week. The Dukies, Cooper Flagg scored 2 points in the ACC tournament. Duke won it anyway. No other Division I team this century has won its conference tournament despite having its leading scorer from the regular season score so few points. Cooper Flagg had 2 in the entire ACC tournament. Fewest points ever by a leading scorer for a team to win their conference tournament.
I was watching the game where he got hurt, and they were losing by like 15, 20 points to Georgia Tech. They were just getting killed at the start of that game, and then he got hurt. He wasn't able to score at the beginning. He got hurt, and Duke kind of turned the corner and started playing defense. Tech couldn't score anymore, and Duke just blew him out of the water. But I thought that was we didn't mention Duke at all in that first segment where we were talking about different teams we watched and things we saw. I thought
they can't win without him, though, can they?
No, I think long term, you need him. But to win the ACC, it's not quite what it used to be to win the ACC conference or the tournament. But I thought Duke looked pretty good. Once he went down, you kind of saw those other guys step up a little bit. By the way, Con Kneppel.
Yeah.
You just call him Nipple.
What's Con short for? Did we talk about this before? Conant?
Constance?
Conan?
Yeah, here we go.
It's not short for anything. I looked it up. It's just Con. But I was thinking, Conathan?
Conathan?
I don't know.
What the hell is that?
I don't know.
Yeah,
what the hell is Con?
Kanan. Man, that is. He had to have gone to a private school.
What kind of name is Con?
Yep, Wisconsin Lutheran High School is a private prep school. Yeah, of course. I mean, no, that's a
Wisconsin name.
It's also something white people who send their kids to private school. I went to a private school. I'm a white guy. I know these names. Yeah. That is absolutely something they would name their kid. Yeah.
All right, Fishy.
Just call him Nipple. What? It's Con to Knipple.
2?
Yeah, like his middle name is like the Roman numeral for 2.
Huh.
Yeah. Huh. Maybe it's not Con Knipple the second. It's Con.
Maybe it's
the second nipple.
Maybe it's ill Knipple. I don't know.
Con to nipple.
Fish, give us another big beat.
Well, how about the Brownies? They get Myles Garrett back. Myles Garrett recorded 102.5 sacks in his first 8 NFL seasons. It's the 6th most all-time among active players through 8 years. He's the only player in NFL history to record 14 or more sacks in 4 consecutive seasons. Good for Myles Garrett because it was not about the money.
Yeah, of course not.
I love that Myles Garrett wants out of Cleveland so bad, and then he wouldn't even take a meeting with Jimmy Haslam. Jimmy Haslam's like, all right, fine, call his agent and just say, hey, Myles, what if we pay you $40 million a year? And Myles Garrett's like, I love Cleveland. I never wanted to go anywhere.
Yep, wasn't about the money.
Good on you, Myles Garrett.
A man of principles.
Yeah.
And finally, on our big beats this week, for the MVP race this week, here's the argument this week for SGA. Last week, we had an example for Nikola Jokic. This week, here's one for SGA. He became the 7th player ever to score 20-plus points in 60 consecutive games.
Oh, okay. I have not looked at the sheet. You have to let me guess this.
7th player to score 20-plus points in 60 consecutive games.
Okay, Jordan.
Jordan, correct.
Wilt.
Yeah, Wilt Chamberlain.
Wilt, yep.
All right. LeBron.
No.
Okay, no LeBron. Iverson.
No.
Really?
James Harden.
No. No.
No. Durant.
Durant, yes.
Maybe another old guy. Bill Russell.
No Bill Russell.
20 points. Shaq.
No.
Kobe.
Kareem.
Kobe, yeah.
Kareem.
And, let's see. We got there are two more old ones. Who'd you say? Kareem?
Yeah.
Kareem's one of them.
Kareem. All right. Oh, Jerry West.
No.
Elgin Baylor.
No.
Bob McAdoo.
You're all over it though.
Who is it?
The Big O.
Oscar.
Oh, Oscar. Okay,
Yeah,
Oscar. Oh, I would have said old. I would have gone Maravich. 1, 2, 3, 4,
Yeah.
5. Yeah, those are the 6. That's a good one.
That's a good one.
That's a good one. I would 20 points in how many straight games?
60.
I would have thought Iverson for sure because he's the only one who took shots on his
He probably
team.
had a game where he had 19,
Yeah.
somewhere in there.
On 40 shots.
Yeah.
He went 4 for 40.
7 for 38.
Yeah, right.
19
Yeah.
points. I don't know how I feel about SGA as
I
the
like
MVP.
that one.
I know, yes, he's awesome. But I kind of feel like the fact that Thunder team is so good should kind of work against him a little bit. Like, that team is so deep and so strong, and they have these games where they sit all 5 guys and they still just beat the crap out of everybody else. That to me kind of I feel Jokic should be more. I think he's more valuable to the Nuggets than SGA is to the Thunder.
Yeah, because it feels like the Thunder win. I mean, he's awesome.
Sure,
obviously.
yeah.
They win because they are so much better than everybody defensively.
Yeah.
They smother you defensively.
Like
Fish,
1
you can attest.
1 through 9.
Yeah,
it's not just him. Everybody.
Yeah, Fish, you can attest to this because you sit right there on the court. You have seen that Oklahoma City defense up close and personal 3 times this year. You're going to see it for a 4th time on this road trip. Final game of a 5-game road trip at OKC. That should be a blast, shouldn't it? But so you can speak to their defense and how they win with their defense.
It's amazing. Their defense is the best I've seen. Just the way that they get to the 3-point shooters, just the way that they move, the overall hustle to get to the shooters from all 5 players and all 5 guys being on the same page, and them scrambling around. It's impressive. And then they get their hand on the basketball and they contest shots and they make shots difficult, and then they deflect the basketball, and then they get the steals, and then they get out and run. And I mean, they are a well-oiled machine. And yeah, I think that his team is better than Jokic's team. The guys around him are better than what Jokic has, but I don't know, man. What he's done this year, his numbers are off the chart. Both of their numbers are off the charts. I'm glad I don't have a vote because I don't know how I would distinguish between the two. I don't think it's very easy to do it.
I think the case is that SGA plays defense, and Jokic doesn't seem to really try that hard on that end.
Yeah. And I think it's going to be because Jokic has already won 3, but
I agree with that.
I would, if I had a vote,
I agree with that.
If I had a vote, I would vote for Jokic.
SGA to me also I get it. They've got the fun police out on Twitter now, going after people who complain about the foul merchant stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he does. He tries.
He absolutely does.
He tries to draw fouls and get to the free throw line. Smart, maybe.
Yeah.
Sure. Does that mean I have to like it? No. And so I'm not a fan really of that.
But by the way, one more thing on Nipple. From Duke. His father and his uncles, Clint, Clay, and Cole, all Ks. Ooh, that's tough. Competed in the Gus Macker 3-on-3 basketball tournament as a team named the Flying Knipple Brothers.
Oh my!
Yeah. All right. Let's take a flying break.
Their mother is Charlie.
With a K?
Or no.
With a K?
No. Kari with a C. CH.
Oh.
Yeah, Chari, maybe.
Chari.
Yeah, maybe Chari.
That's like a cartoon about how not to use your grill or something. All right, we're going to take a break. We're going to come back. We're going to talk NCAA tournament, go through the bracket. You're watching The Odds Couple here on Grind City Media.
Grizzlies fans know it's the team that gives you the edge. Big River Steel does too. And much like the Grizzlies have recruited legendary talent, we want you to be part of our team. Are you ready to be part of something legendary? Then visit www.bigriversteel.com. That's www.bigriversteel.com.
Can't wait. It's time to get it popping.
It's going to be crazy. The fans are going to be loud. We need just energy.
Back to Jared for the flush.
We're going to need, the form rocking. We're going to need, everybody in Memphis to be out there to come to support.
When the fans are good, we're good. Simple as that.
A Bane three. Yes, sir. Desmond Bane with ice water in his veins.
We'll ride the energy together.
Shinedown. Dance Kid Dance Tour. Live in Memphis. FedEx Forum Saturday, August 30th. With special guests, Bush and Morgan Wade. Get tickets now at livenation.com. Shinedown, live in concert. For more, visit shinedown.com.
I never in a million years would have ever thought that John Cena's final run would be as a heel.
I love it.
I love it.
Once they saw this from The Rock,
they knew it. Everybody knew it except for Cody, which was so good.
Great camera work by
And then the
WWE.
kick. Yeah, I don't think WWE gets enough credit for the camera work and the production quality. I mean, it is incredible.
Tune in to Grind City Wrestling weekly on the Grind City Media app and on the Grind City Media YouTube channel.
Welcome back to The Odds Couple on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app. Here's Rob Fisher and Lang Whitaker.
Welcome back to The Odds Couple here on Grind City Media. Lang Whitaker, Rob Fisher, John Rosa, we're all here. We got some Who Said It coming up. We got some free picks, I think. And then we also have some fish nuggets coming up. It's like a call in a horror movie or something.
It really is. It really
walking
is.
down the street.
So that girl from The Ring's going to start walking in here.
Who said it behind you?
Or except it's not going to be the girl from The Ring. It's going to be CJ doing that same walking.
With no shirt on.
Oh, gosh.
Anyway, did you see he posted a shirtless photo from his vacation over the weekend? Yeah, I was flipping through his Instagram, and there was one of them he had no shirt on. I was like, great. Anyway, well, let's talk about the NCAA tournament. We talked some teams. We talked some of the teams that we liked, some of the conference finals. Let's go through these brackets and talk brackets. Roser was filling out his bracket a moment ago. I saw him working on one. I printed out one here.
I can't. Well, see, it's like you got to wait till the play-ins are done because if they were just the 16s, like fine, you just pick the 1 seeds. Yeah. Typically, there have been twice it's happened the upset, but Ole Miss is going to play San Diego State and North Carolina, and Illinois is going to play Texas or Xavier. And I'd kind of like to know who wins San Diego State, North Carolina, and Texas Xavier before I make my mind up. Because if North Carolina, who shouldn't be in the tournament, obviously, but if they do beat San Diego State, the advanced metrics love the Tar Heels. And if they do, it's not crazy to see North Carolina beating Ole Miss. That's not nuts. Yeah. And then they might play a potential second-round matchup with Iowa State if they beat Lipscomb. And their head coach, TJ Otzelberger, announced their second leading scorers done for the year. So,
I mean, the North Carolina thing, I get it, why they shouldn't be in, and they were 1-12 in quad one and all this crap. They were a lane violation from beating Duke.
Right.
they were in that game.
They're
until the very, very, very end.
And who calls lane violations? Yeah. The other one, too, with Illinois playing the winner of Texas Xavier, Illinois has been just up and down mess all season. Yeah. So Texas Xavier, whatever there. And then that could feed into Kentucky or Troy. And Kentucky lost Jackson Robinson for the rest of the year, and they've been up and down, except Kentucky, if they do get through, could be looking at a potential Sweet 16 matchup with Tennessee, who Kentucky is 2-0 against Tennessee this year.
Fish, when you filled out your bracket, did you
what a tournament.
Did you have any strong conviction either way about which team you ended up with in the Final Four?
I haven't filled out a bracket yet. I'm like Roser. I'm waiting a couple of days, but I have a pretty good idea who I'm going to be there. I feel good about the SEC. I feel good about Auburn getting to the Final Four in the South. In the West, two teams that I really like. I like the one. I like the two. I like Florida a lot. I love St. John's a lot. In the East, the Duke thing's interesting because how healthy is Cooper Flagg going to be? I mean, the good news for Duke is I think they should be okay getting through their first 2 rounds, even if he doesn't play. So then you give him another week to possibly rest, and then maybe he'd be okay. But really like Alabama in that bracket as well. Although they got a sneaky second-round matchup possibly with St. Mary's. That could be very difficult. And then in the Midwest, I've had a lot of questions. Midwest seems to be the one that's wide open for me. Yeah. That is the region that you have the most teams that are at 15-1 or shorter odds to win the region. So you're talking about multiple teams that are going in as not favorites, but at least contenders in that region. I think there are questions with Houston with their offense. Tennessee's been a little inconsistent, so that's the one region that I look at that I think it could be someone other than the one or the two.
Fish, I got to look. I agree with you on the East, looking at it with Duke. I'll go farther on this with Duke. I think if Alabama happened to get knocked off or upset early, Alabama did, I think Duke could make it to the Final Four without Cooper Flagg. Like, looking at what's in that region, like if Alabama got knocked out, I think Duke could beat any of those teams except Alabama without Cooper Flagg.
Well, and
I think if they played Bama, they would need Cooper Flagg. I think they would need Cooper Flagg if they're going to beat Alabama. But
I think Bama could lose to St. Mary's, Wisconsin, or BYU.
Oh, Alabama is so up and down. But Alabama can hit 23s and they can beat you by 30 points.
Like they're one of the highest scoring teams in college basketball.
Big variance, big time variance with them.
I would even if they have an off defensive game or somebody gets hot on the other team, or we see one of those March Madness performances where somebody goes crazy and hits 7 of 8 on threes. Alabama can still just put up points, and they're just going to run you off the court. And I that's kind of why I like them in this tournament, and also just the experience. Like they've been there before. I saw a stat today.
They have been.
Of the 24 national champions since 1999, 20 of them have been to at least one previous Final Four. And of those good teams, you know which one? Which coach? Those are coaches. You know which coach hasn't been to the Final Four? Florida.
Yeah.
Because isn't that the guy who was got in trouble for some DMs and stuff?
Yeah, there's some stuff out there.
It's a
little creepy.
He's like okay with it.
It's I'm not actually.
Oh, okay.
I'm not at all. Don't put that on me. What are you crazy?
Okay.
I mean, there's stuff out there. Let's put it this way. If Florida would have been 15 and 18, he might not be their head coach.
Yeah. So, but Florida doesn't have the experience of the coaching staff, but neither is John Shire at Duke. Right? I mean, he's pretty new too. So I don't know. I feel pretty good about taking these SEC teams. I also wonder if just in general, we've seen it in college football. I think we're seeing it now somewhat in college basketball. Just everything's flat now, right? Yeah. Everybody, there's not the teams that are so much better than everybody else. And so a team like Houston or a team like, I don't know, Duke could come up against a team that, hey, we're not that much worse than you. It's not going to be blowouts all the way to the Final Four.
Tell me if y'all agree with this. I'm looking at the regions, and Fish, I'm kind of with you when I look at the Midwest. I think there's a bunch of teams that could do this. I mean, I feel it. I'll be honest, when I first filled this out, I have all 4 1 seeds. I ended up with all 4 1 seeds. But Houston and Tennessee, I have in the Elite 8, and that could go either way because neither one of those teams, both of those teams, their offense can let you down. So I think the Midwest, I think Houston and Auburn, as the 1 seeds, have the toughest route to the Final Four. I look at the West and the East. I think Duke and Florida have a pretty solid, I think they got a pretty easy run. Yeah. Like, I know Florida could run into Memphis in the Sweet 16, but dude, Florida's big. And they've got an All-American guard. They got a first-team All-American guard. Memphis has 2 great players in Danger and Haggerty, but I think if Memphis got there, I don't think they could handle Florida.
Why is Memphis?
And St. John's is the 2. St. John's lost to Georgia. Shout out Lang.
Yeah, shout out Georgia.
St. John's lost to Georgia.
But this is a different. St. John's is way better now than they were.
They are way better. They are way better now. And Rick Pitino, he's a monster.
Look, I also wouldn't be shocked if a team like Georgia or Texas or Mississippi State, like one of these kind of mid SEC teams or like teams that were 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 in the SEC, has a little run in this tournament because they've been playing Alabama, Tennessee, Florida, all these great teams all season long. A team like Georgia, I wouldn't pick them to win more than 1 round just because I don't think they have the guard quality that it's going to take. But Georgia has a guy who's going to be a lottery pick in the draft. All these teams have really good players, and you never know what's going to happen.
Yeah, I think one of my upset alert games this first round, at least, I got Georgia on there against Gonzaga.
Yeah,
I don't think Gonzaga was a very good team this year, and watching them. They played awesome in the conference championship game. Awesome against St. Mary's, a team that had beaten them twice already this season, but they showed up and they played really well and they got the job done. But they've been so erratically inconsistent all season long that I like Georgia in that game. I like a couple of upsets in that Midwest. That's why I think the Midwest is so intriguing as well. I like Clemson possibly being on upset alert against Mississippi State. As well in that bracket. Yeah,
I think that. Okay, so I know a lot of people like that too. Yeah. To me, and 12s beat 5s. I think you're more likely to get the UC San Diego and the Liberty to win their 12-5 games. I'm sorry. That Clemson coach is awesome, and Will Wade's horrible. Will Wade.
We're not talking about his morals. We're talking about
I mean, coaching. He's not. He ain't going to X's and O's you or anything, and that Clemson coach will. I like Clemson in that one. I would take Clemson in that one. I think Purdue and High Point's interesting, though, because it's some of these teams are the metrics like them. Yeah. And the metrics love High Point and the metrics love UC San Diego.
Well, the other 12-5 matchup, of course, is Memphis, Colorado State.
Yeah, that's
Colorado
light,
State's
that's
favored at this point to win.
I've already put money on Memphis. I've already taken the money line.
Why is Colorado State favored?
I think Tyrese Hunter. And the metrics. And that's what, the sports game, they go by metrics. Yeah. They will go by metrics and what their numbers say. And metrics do not love Memphis because they played a lot of close games with bad teams. And then you do have the 12 versus 5, and then you have Memphis not having their starting point guard. But I think Memphis will win that easy, actually. I don't know about easy. I've never seen Colorado State play basketball, but their best win is Boise State.
David Roddy was pretty excited about it. He said there's a first-round pick on the Colorado State roster. I saw him posting on social media. This is the only Colorado State person I know.
And in that
you don't know Patrick Ramsey?
No. Okay. Mike Bobo was former head coach.
Former head coach there, Mike Bobo.
Before he got fired.
That West region, another one to look out for, I think, is number 11 Drake. Number 6 Missouri.
Because Missouri, as we've pointed out, Fish, you've talked about the Missouri team. Look at their losses and the points they give up. So they don't guard. And Drake is going to make you guard the entire 30-second shot clock. They're going to make you guard the whole time, and it's is Missouri going to have...
Drake's point guard is awesome. That guy, Stinson or something like that. Yeah.
Is Missouri going to have the discipline to do that?
Yeah.
And I'd probably lean no.
Bennett is the guy from Drake. And they've been a covering machine the last couple seasons, too. Fish, I think I'm kind of hungry.
Yeah.
Can we have some nuggets?
Hey, how about some nuggets? I got some nuggets for you.
Some
fish nuggets here on this Monday afternoon. How about this one? We'll start in the NBA. We'll start with SGA again. This is amazing.
This is crazy.
SGA would lead the NBA in scoring even if he only played 3 quarters.
It's crazy.
I mean, he does only play 3 quarters a lot of those games because they're winning so big.
That's right. All right, college basketball nuggets. Rutgers is the first men's basketball program to have 2 players as projected top 5 picks and failed to make the NCAA tournament.
Yeah.
That's not good.
Not good.
Not good for Rutgers. All right. With St. John's making the tournament, Rick Pitino became the first coach to take 6 different schools to the NCAA tournament.
Good grief.
Yeah, 6.
I think he had like 4 of them in the Final Four or something like that too. Like it's a bunch, but yeah.
Yeah, pretty impressive. Grand Canyon is the only Division I team this century to have 6 different players score at least a dozen points in a conference tournament championship game. Congratulations, Grand Canyon, winners of the WAC. UC San Diego is the first school ever to have both its women's and men's teams make the NCAA tournament in the same year in their first year of eligibility. So good for UC San Diego. And then Tennessee is the only school to participate in all 43 NCAA Division I women's basketball championships since its inception in 1982.
Go Vols.
I have a Lang Nugget.
Lang Nugget.
I have one I found today when I was reading stuff. Janai Broome of Auburn played his first college game when Cooper Flagg was 13 years old.
Wait, hang on. What?
Janai Broome of Auburn, a candidate for Player of the Year with Cooper Flagg. Janai Broome played his first college game when Cooper Flagg was 13 years old.
That seems crazy.
I know. It's also
it's 5 years though.
I also wrote a thing for tomorrow's Grind City Media newsletter. I think there's something so illustrative about the way college basketball works or whatever that the 2 guys who are fighting it out for College Basketball Player of the Year, one's going to be the number 1 pick of the draft, and then Janai Broome's like around 40 something. Like he's not even a first round pick.
He'll be the number 1 pick in the G League draft.
Yeah, like it's crazy that these 2 guys are the 2 best players, and one of them is so perfect for the NBA, and one could not be a better fit for not the NBA. So I don't know, it's weird. All right, hey, let's take a break. We're going to come back. It's time for the game show that's been sweeping the country. Who said it?
Oh, it's a great one. It's a great game. I can't wait for it.
All right, we're going to take a break. We'll come right back. You're watching The Odds Couple on Grind City Media.
Let's face it, there's a lot of trash talk in basketball, but the great teams let their performance do the talking. Like Ford F-150 with Pro Power on board, a class-exclusive industry-first feature that turns your truck into a mobile generator and leaves the competition speechless. Ford F-150, official truck of the Grizzlies. Greatness starts here at your Mid-South Ford dealer. Class is full-size pickups under 8,500 pounds, GVWR.
Kroger shoppers and Grizz fans, one exclusive last-minute discounted ticket deals takes it straight to you during the Grizzlies 2024-2025 season. Sign up with the new Kroger Buzzer Beater deal. Fans can sign up by texting Grizz to 636-479 or visit your local Kroger store in the Delta Division and scan the QR code. By signing up, you agree to receive recurring automated promotional and personalized marketing text messages from the Memphis Grizzlies. Consent is not a condition of any purchase. Message frequency varies. Message and data rates may apply.
Thanks for showing up, Memphis. Nothing beats catching your Grizzlies IRL, and nobody knows that better than you. So next time you want to hit up a game, Ticketmaster's got your back with tickets to every upcoming matchup. Whether you're catching the Grizzlies at home or on the road, you'll find tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Keep putting that jersey collection to use and get Grizzlies tickets today. There's no better brag than saying you saw it live. See you courtside again soon, Memphis.
We had big classic news from the Southern Heritage Classic last week when it was announced Arkansas Pine Bluff and Alcorn State will be the 2 classic participants.
Being a part of the classic is a big deal. It's the 3rd year for UAPB and the 1st year for Alcorn. So I'm just glad we were able to get it done.
Get all of your HBCU sports and culture news by tuning in to HBCU Huddle with CJ Hurt and Mike Wallace. New episodes drop every Thursday on grindcitymedia.com, YouTube, and Spotify.
Welcome back to The Odds Couple on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app. Here's Rob Fisher and Lang Whitaker.
Welcome back to The Odds Couple here on Grind City Media. I'm Lang Whitaker. That's John Roser. Rob Fisher's somewhere in Sacramento.
It's definitely in California.
Yeah. And we're about ready to get back to the game show that's sweeping the country. Who said it?
Who said it?
All All right, so now what we do is we go through press conferences and stuff. Wait, before we get to that one, Kyra, we have some bonus clips we're going to start with. We start with, I don't know if you guys saw this. Arkansas in the SEC tournament, close game down the stretch. They're up 3. And Calipari says he orders the guy to miss the free throw. There's like 2 seconds left. The guy makes the free throw by accident. Tough. They go up 4. The other team can't do anything. Here's Calipari gave his reasoning for why this happened.
He tried to miss it. He shot it flat and banked it in. You're up 3 and there's 2 seconds to go. Miss it. By the time they get it, there's a second. Now, the other side of that is, what if they throw one deep and bank it in? But I've done it before, so I do some unconventional stuff. And he banked it in, and I was like happy.
Does this make any sense? Standing by that? Like, why would you tell a guy to miss up 3 with time on the clock?
Yeah, why wouldn't you go up 4?
Just go up 4.
Just go up 4 and the game's over.
Worst case, he misses. But yeah, you want to go up. I don't know. It was such a weird thing. I thought that was classic.
Stupid. That's just John trying to lose the SEC tournament because he hates the tournament so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, or him trying to, I think he was trying to like stand up for the guy taking such a crappy free throw. It went in, but I mean, he did shoot a line drive that banked in, but whatever, it counted. I got one more special bonus clip, and look, CJ's not here. This clip surfaced this week. So, Jameis was just pumping out content all during the Super Bowl, Super Bowl week. This is a clip of Jameis watching the Super Bowl, and I guess he was sitting next to Bert Kreischer, the comedian and podcaster. And they start talking about football and playing football, and here's the conversation they had.
Terrifying. It is, man. I think special teams in general is very terrifying. Especially, can you imagine looking at the moon and you have 11 ostriches running at you full speed, and you have a piece of corn on the bottom of your cheek. I can't imagine that. I mean, I can't imagine it, but I can't imagine. What is that? You're looking at the moon. You got some corn on your chin, and 11 ostriches. Do ostriches eat corn? I don't know.
Yeah. And they also disembowel you with their claws. They cut you open from the center like dinosaurs.
What?
Yeah, they did it to Johnny Cash.
Johnny Cash?
He got almost died by an ostrich. I think. You may want to Google that, yeah.
So that actually sent me down the rabbit hole of Googling Johnny Cash and ostriches when I saw that. And it's true. Johnny Cash had like a farm somewhere outside Nashville. He had ostriches on the farm. It was a pair of ostriches. One of them died. The other one was upset. Johnny Cash ran across the ostrich somewhere on the farm, and the thing clawed at him and like cut him open. And he lived. Like he managed to get away and like get to the hospital and managed to live through it. But
ostriches are crazy, man.
Anyway, I thought that was
those things are freaky. Those things are so fast.
Yeah,
ostriches can run like 50, 60 miles an hour.
I don't mess with ostriches.
Yeah,
kangaroos are the same. They'll tilt back and balance on their tail, and then use those claws to crack you open. All right, let's get to this. Let's gonna go to clip 1. They thought we were gonna be ass. I mean, we were still ass, but we weren't that bad.
I got this one, Roser.
Okay.
I don't know his name, but it's a player on Virginia Tech, I believe. A Virginia Tech player.
Well, I don't have the video of this quote. I just have a graphic of it. Virginia Tech. Toby Lawal.
I love that.
Toby Lawal.
He thought we were going to be ass. I mean, we were still ass, but, we weren't that bad.
There was also this week the quote of the guy from where was it? Kansas State, who was like crying in the post game. Did you see that?
Yeah, that was tough though.
I couldn't put it in here. It made me too sad. He was like, I wanted to come change things around here, and it didn't work, and it sucks.
He's been getting a lot of crap from fans. He was a big they paid a lot for him, and he didn't live up to the hype, and he got a bunch of talk from fans and social media. There's an Indiana player who said something similar too.
Well, let's go to. Oh wait, we got another one here. He was apparently supposed to go to a dentist appointment 2 weeks ago, and he missed that appointment. Kids, that's why you got to make those dentist appointments so you don't get elbowed in the face and lose a tooth. NBA. This is an NBA one.
Is this? Well, did Brandon Clark lose the tooth? Is this when Brandon Clark got elbowed in the face?
I don't think he ended up losing a tooth. I think he just had a puffy lip.
Who was it against?
When I was at a game. It was like 2 weeks ago.
It was a home game. Was it Phoenix?
Might have been.
Was it one of the Phoenix games? Because we played Phoenix twice.
He got
in
called
like a
for
week.
a foul on the play.
Or maybe OKC? No, I don't think it was the OKC one because we never had a chance in that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I can't remember.
Yeah. The Knicks. It was the Knicks game. It was the Knicks game when it happened.
Might have been.
Yeah.
Who said this one?
I don't know who got elbowed in the face recently in the NBA. Other than Brandon.
Yeah. I don't know who lost.
You guys aren't going to get it. Roll it, Kara.
Okay.
I can't let you go without asking about Derek's teeth.
Oh. Yeah.
Did you see him in the locker room? How did he get them back in, and how amazing was it he was out here able to get back out here on the floor?
Yeah, no, it's tough. He's got a target on his head, I think, and I didn't get to see it. I didn't realize that was happening. Then I saw it back, and he had like some sort of mouth guard or something. And he was supposed to apparently go to the dentist 2 weeks ago and missed that appointment. And kids, that's why you got to make sure you make those dentist appointments, because you might get elbowed in the face and lose your teeth.
Thank you.
That's going to really stop anything, though. So, yeah.
I don't think it's going to stop Derek either. Luke, thank you.
Yeah, thanks. Appreciate it.
This Luke Cornett got the elbow. I mean, Luke Cornett made the quote.
Luke Cornett got the walk-off interview.
Yeah, he got the walk-off about Derek White getting elbowed in the mouth. Because Derek White did have a tooth knocked out like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, that's the second time that's happened to Derek White.
I think the replacement got knocked out because he didn't go to the dentist.
Because he didn't go to the dentist, kids.
All right, here we go. Number 3. When you get to that right shoulder, forget it. Everybody's too small. That too small thing is sort of like the overrated chant. You're taken away from your accomplishment. I hadn't thought about it, but that is true. Because now everybody, instead of doing the too little, they do the too small sign. And it is true. Like when you score over somebody and say they're too small, well, like you're not saying that I put in the work. This is a broadcaster.
Doris Burke said it then. It's basketball.
I'm going to go Stan Van.
All right. You're both wrong.
But just this crab dribble to get to the middle of the lane. Gainey's either got to go right away to stop him and then recover, because he's ultimately going to get there. And when he gets to that right shoulder, forget it. Everybody's too small when you get that deep.
7 for 8 from the floor, 16 points for Broom. He's the high scorer in the game.
That too small thing is kind of like the overrated chant. You're taken away from your accomplishment.
Whoa.
Have you noticed Auburn also, they all do the call 12, but it's not 12. But they do that. And I saw another team doing it this weekend too. Like that's become
it's caught
like
on.
the new thing.
Yeah, it's caught on. Jaw's an influencer.
I think you guys are going to get this one. Clip 4. I'm disgusted by the way that game was officiated. The level of disrespect was above and beyond. They have a guy fall down and trip on his own teammate's foot. They review us for a hostile act. They throw an elbow to our chest and neck area, ask for them to at least take a look, to show us the respect to look at it. The disrespect has gone far enough. Who said it?
Oh, that's JB Bickerstaff.
Yep, that is JB Bickerstaff. JB Bickerstaff had one of the great rants without cussing that I've ever seen.
It was good, yeah. Well, he used to work on radio, so you can roll the clip. We can talk over it if you want, Kara.
I'm disgusted by the way that game was officiated.
He doesn't seem
level
that
of
angry.
Disrespect was above and beyond.
But he gets angry.
They have a guy fall down and trip on his own teammate's foot. They review us for a hostile act. They throw an elbow to our chest, neck area. I ask for him, at least take a look at it, right? Just show us the respect to take a look at it, okay? No one would take a look at it, okay? The disrespect has gone far enough, and I'm not going to allow our guys to be treated the way that they were treated tonight. Okay? I tried to have a conversation with official. The official was arguing with Mark. I say his name one time, and he screams at me and tells me that's enough. Right? We understand that we play a style of ball that's physical, it's on the edge, right? I coach my ass off with a passionate way. I'm into the games. Our players are into the games. We understand that, right? But we deserve a level of respect because we're competing our tails off and bringing something positive to this league, right? We're growing young players. Our young players are competing their tail off. The least that they could do is get the same respect that everybody else in this league gets and get refereed the same way that everybody else in this league gets ref.
Oh,
and enough is enough of it. And what you saw tonight was disgusting. It was a disgusting display of disrespect towards our guys and what we're trying to do.
That was awesome.
Take that for data.
I think how at the beginning he just seems kind of like disappointed more than anything, and then he just works himself into that lather by the end of it, and he's just like crumpling up things and slamming the table, and it was great. All right, 2 more. I asked him, like, what do you go by? I'm not about to be calling you Jericho every time I call your name. And he was like, J-Rod, Jumpman. And I was like, I will never call you Jumpman. There's one Jumpman that I will acknowledge. Who said it?
Jericho.
So it's no. This is Giannis.
Giannis?
I'm guessing Giannis because it's got to be about Jericho Sims, who plays for the Bucks.
All right.
Because I remember watching that. I watched that Lakers game, and I swear I saw Jericho Sims catching lobs everywhere.
I was actually watching last night. The Bucks played the Thunder, and my son was like, "When did Jericho Sims get on the Bucks?" But
it could be Damian Lillard, but I don't think Damian Lillard talks like that. That definitely seems like something Giannis would say.
Yeah, let's go Giannis. I like your Giannis pick there, Roser.
Roll it.
I think that's another guy who
man.
had a lot of dialogue with. I remember I think we was playing Minnesota like right before the All-Star break, and I didn't play in that game. And
this is bogus.
We was both in there lifting at the same time. It was just us, and I was like, "Man, do you ever talk?" Like, and he just started smiling, and he was like, "Yeah, I do." I was like, "I've never even heard you talk. Like, you've been here a couple of days," and I asked him, like, what do you go by? Like, I'm not about to be calling you Jericho every time I call your name. And he was like,
what's so bad about Jericho?
J-Rock, Jumpman. And I was like, I would never call you Jumpman. It's one Jumpman that I'm going to acknowledge as Jumpman. And we laughed about it.
You can cut it, Kyrie.
And
I didn't think, like, first of all, like, how do you shorten Jericho into J-Rod or Jumpman? But anyway. It's not like his last name's Rodriguez. It's like his last name's Sims. It's not J-Rod. It's J. Like, I don't understand. Anyway, Roser actually mentioned this last one, so this gives this away. But there was a quote from the tournament. All we're trying to do is win for these people. You lose 1 game, 2 games. The next thing you know, your DMs is crazy. Death wishes, death threats. Nobody wants to live like that. It's not helping anybody. I don't think this is the right screen.
It's not the right screen.
That was Mark Pope last season. We don't have to but we talked about this.
It's got to be the Indiana guy. Yeah, I don't remember. I don't know what his name was.
Umar Ballo.
Yeah,
is the one who said it. But all right, that's this week's Who Said It. Do you guys enjoy it? You good?
Awesome.
Always enjoy it. Always enjoy Who Said It.
I also heard a funny story talking about remember a couple weeks ago on Who Said It? This is a follow-up. We had the one of, was it Ty Jerome who was talking about the referees? And he said they all had a bad game tonight, but it wasn't Ty Jerome. It was Max Strus, was it? Who was like, the referees were bad tonight, but especially Natalie. She was awful.
Yeah.
So I heard from somebody who works for a different team. They had a game with Natalie as one of the referees, Natalie Sago, and one of the players got pretty upset about it. And post-game was going to take the fine and call her out by name. And he said, hey, the refs were bad tonight, but especially Caitlin. She was terrible. And got the name wrong. There was no referee named Caitlin. He didn't get fined. So.
Well, mess the referees' names up.
Yeah, that's the thing. Just call them by the wrong name from now on. All right, let's take one more quick break, and then we're gonna close this thing out and go through some free picks and get out of here. You're watching The Odds Couple on Grind City Media.
Grizzlies fans know it's the team that gives you the edge. Big River Steel does too. And much like the Grizzlies have recruited legendary talent, we want you to be part of our team. Are you ready to be part of something legendary? Then visit www.bigriversteel.com. That's www.bigriversteel.com.
Can't wait. It's time to get it popping. It's going to be crazy. The fans are going to be loud. We need just energy.
We're going to need, the form rocking. We're going to need, everybody in Memphis to be out there to come to support.
When the fans are good, we're good. Simple as that.
A Bane three. Yes, sir. Desmond Bane with ice water in his veins.
We'll ride the energy together.
Shinedown. Dance Kid Dance Tour. Live in Memphis. FedEx Forum Saturday, August 30th. With special guests, Bush and Morgan Wade. Get tickets now at livenation.com. Shinedown, live in concert. For more, visit shinedown.com.
I never in a million years would have ever thought that John Cena's final run would be as a heel.
I love it.
I love it.
Once they saw this from The Rock,
they knew it. Everybody knew it except for Cody, which was so good.
Great camera work by WWE.
And then the kick. Yeah, I don't think WWE gets enough credit for the camera work and the production quality. I mean, it is incredible.
Tune in to Grind City Wrestling weekly on the Grind City Media app and on the Grind City Media YouTube channel.
Welcome back to the Odds Couple on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app. Here's Rob Fisher and Lang Whitaker.
Welcome back to the Odds Couple here on Grind City Media. Lang Whitaker here with Rob Fisher and John Rosa. We're finishing this thing off. Going to get you ready for the NCAA tournament coming up this week. And the first games actually start tomorrow night, right? The what do they call it? The play-in, the first four.
Yeah, like the first four.
The first four is tomorrow night, and we get the first one, I believe, is Alabama State, St. Francis, American Mount St. Mary's. And the two later games, you get the two blue bloods. You get Texas Xavier and San Diego State, North Carolina.
Yeah.
Anybody feel strongly about any of those games?
No.
I think North Carolina is going to beat San Diego State.
They're -4.5.
Yeah. 3.5 on ESPN.
Yeah, I like North Carolina, and as Rosa was talking about earlier, I'm not opposed to North Carolina against Ole Miss either.
Yeah. I mean, I saw Ole Miss play a bunch of games this year, and they're so up and down.
Yeah, Ole Miss very up and down, yeah.
Although they have something like 11 of their 12 players are seniors. They have a very old team.
They can be also. We saw they beat Tennessee. They beat Alabama.
Yeah.
Like they've, But, yeah, no, very up and down team.
We have we have a graphic of the NCAA bracket regional tournament teams. I don't know if you guys had to make a pick right now of your team, your final four. How about that? What would you go with? Give me 4 tournament teams. I'll give you mine. I had Alabama and Auburn and Duke and
Alabama and Duke are in the same region.
You're right. I had Alabama, Auburn, Houston. And I would probably take St. John's or Florida. I mean, I don't want to take 3 SEC teams to make it out of there.
I've got all 4 1s. No. I think all 4 1 seeds. Although I could see Tennessee. I just don't trust Rick Barnes in the NCAA tournament. Like, it's like at Florida. It's like, dude, Florida, you're on a run where you're winning a lot of games in a row. At some point, you may just have a stinker. So Rick Pitino and St. John's would be an amazing story getting to the Final Four. But I'm going to go all 4 1s. I'm going to say Auburn, Florida, Duke, and Houston. I've got Auburn playing Duke, and I've got Auburn avenging an earlier season loss.
Fish is trying to figure out his bracket.
I think that I like 3 of the ones: Auburn, Florida, and Duke. Those 3 I like. That Midwest, I don't know, man. I don't know.
Yeah.
I just don't trust Houston. It's hard for me to trust Tennessee. I mean, they're the 2 seed, so
yeah. McNeese is going all the way.
Maybe McNeese goes all the way. I just think that Midwest is pretty open, but I like the 1 seeds in the other 3. As I said earlier, I haven't filled out my bracket, but I'd be surprised if I didn't have Florida, Auburn, and Duke in the Final Four.
You guys know McNeese is pretty good, but you know who's really tough? McNephew.
McNephew. Yeah.
Sorry.
Wow. That was good, Lang. Good stuff.
Grizzlies are on the road trip, starting the longest road trip of the season. Game 1 tonight against Sacramento. And then
dude.
At Portland, at LA, at Utah, and then to get to close it off with a nice. Why is it a 5:00 game against the Thunder?
Oh, that's probably Pacific time. I'm sorry.
That's all good. It's an early start.
Yeah, those are all Pacific time since I'm out here on the Pacific time zone.
Understood. But tonight's a late game. I like the late game starts because I get to stay up late.
This is not going to be easy. Not an easy trip at all for the Grizz. And the Grizzlies haven't won a game in California all year. Trying to change that tonight against the Kings. A little bit of a surprise. Kings are the favorite in tonight's game by 3.5 points. So
it's a Jake LaRavia get back.
That's right.
It's the Jake LaRavia get back.
Playmaker Jake.
That's right. So it'll be a tough one tonight.
All Roser's rookie cards. The other thing starting tomorrow is baseball.
We got baseball tomorrow night.
I know.
At 5 in the morning.
Yeah, we got baseball that starts in the middle of the night from Japan. Chicago against the Dodgers. Mookie Betts looks like he's out for the Dodgers. But you get Yamamoto against Imanaga. And it should be a pretty good game.
I'm going to try and stay up and watch this thing tonight.
You might be able to, by the time are you guys leaving after the game tonight?
No, we're staying. We're staying till tomorrow, and we don't leave until 3 tomorrow. So
you can sleep in.
I can stay up and watch this thing. Yeah, at least the first inning, get to see Shohei.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I'm sure he's going to get a big ovation. We got free picks. I got one for you.
Yeah, go.
Since we're on baseball, last year at the start of the season, the Braves' Spencer Strider was the prohibitive favorite to win the Cy Young. Do you guys remember? He was plus 425 to win the Cy Young.
Yeah.
And then he hurt his arm and he missed the whole season. He pitched today. He started for the Braves today in spring training. Pitched one time through the batting order. Struck out 6. 23 of his 25 pitches were strikes. He looked awesome. And right now you can get him at plus 3,000 to win the Cy Young. So that's pretty good value. He's pitching with Chris Sale, who ended up winning the Cy Young for the Braves last year. So, I mean, plus 3,000, heck, put $5, $10 on it. You never know.
I had I had a Braves fan say to me this weekend, they said you should buy a rookie card of
Smith Shawver?
No, Schwellenbach.
Oh, Spencer Schwellenbach, yeah, that'd probably be good. He was awesome last year, too.
Yeah.
So. Anybody got free pick?
Yeah, I do. We're going to go to the NCAA tournament on Thursday. We're going to go, you could take it plus 6.5, Drake plus 6.5 against Missouri, or we can rock the plus 220 money line. I also like Memphis plus 120. Memphis plus 120 on the money line. I've already taken the Memphis win, and I will be taking Drake money line. I'll take Drake spread and Drake money line.
Fish, you got anything?
Hockey game tonight. We got the Los Angeles Kings 3-way play, money line. Kings 60 minutes. They'll win it in 60 minutes against Minnesota tonight. You'll get close to even money on that. So the Kings to win in 60 minutes tonight against Minnesota. And I'm with Roser. I like Drake in the NCAA tournament getting those points. If you want to put them on the money line, I got no problem with that either. So I think that's a good one too.
By the way, the governor of West Virginia has spoken out about West Virginia not making the NCAA tournament. He said West Virginia deserves to be in. He had a sign that said the National Corrupt Athletic Association, and he said this was a miscarriage of justice and robbery at the highest levels.
Oh, wow.
So, guess what? They still don't get to get in the tournament, though. They still get to go play in the NIT. All right. That's today's Odds Couple. We're not here on Thursday. Friday morning, I'm sitting in with we got a whole special thing going on this weekend on all the GCM shows. So
it's a mega show. Thursday and Friday, 8 to 11.
I'm hosting Friday morning because Jessica's going to be in Seattle. She was going on vacation, and turns out the Tigers are going to be there, so she gets to go see them play. So tune in Friday morning, tune in Thursday morning, all the GCM shows. Watch some basketball, wear your kicks. You're watching The Odds Couple. For John Roser, for Rob Fisher, for Kyra. See you next week. Thanks for watching.